Moving on, we have a question from Lantra. Was the original idea for Mudokon Pops that this was standard practice as opposed to a one-off idea by Moloch? And also, if Moloch had been successful, would consumers, including Mudokon consumers, have known that they were eating Mudokons?
So the answer is the consumers wouldn't have known the source. They would have just thought it was something cute in packaging, but they wouldn't have known.
Okay.
And we have that today. Like, how many of us actually know what we're eating, right? So being inspired by the real world. And then today, I would just advise have more extreme caution over what's in your food than ever. But we find out there's some pretty astounding things in our food that would probably be shocked, once we learn about.
In the UK, there's a chef, and his name's Jamie Oliver, and he did a documentary on what goes into chicken nuggets, which then forced McDonald's to do like a counter saying, yeah, it's 100% breast, not what was shown in this
right.
in this video, which was like, wow.
Do you remember when they found out like McDonald's milkshakes were made mostly of plastic?
Yeah, I think.
And it was also that there was earthworms in the burgers.
Oh God!
Like a protein.
In the UK, there was another controversy, and someone's just mentioned it now on the Discord called Horsegate, when they found horse meat in some products.
Yeah, and now that we have stem cell-ish materials are now starting to emerge in food products too. So and then they changed This is the tricky thing about industry, and it actually inspired Oddworld a lot, which was that they will rename things. And I remember they will relabel, they will change the definition of something. And so dolphin safe was anything but, right? So you go, oh, dolphin safe tuna. Well, that's the tuna I want to buy because those laws were created because they don't kill dolphins. And then you find out, yeah, that's what you thought it meant, but not really. Right, or it's organically grown. They're still in a factory. They're still not pasture raised. So, like, if you really cared about chickens that were raised in a pasture, you have to get pasture raised, not organically grown. Because organically grown could mean they were born naturally, they weren't artificial inseminated, they were still raised in a factory farm, but they were just fed oats and things like that. And so the practices become very deceiving. The one that blew me away was that they had renamed because of animal testing. And this was, I was talking to people that were really big in the animal rights area when we were making Munch. And what was also emerging was they were changing the definition of animal for certain types of animals. So they wanted to say rats and birds and rodents of different types and some types of monkeys, they were no longer animals. And so then the products that were testing on them were no longer animal tested. So then they could say animal testing free, but you didn't know they still killed, all these birds and rabbits because they had delisted them as animals. So the doublespeak, the Orwellian doublespeak that's around our consumer menu is really deceiving. It can be exhausting to trying to find out what the real truth is. And, people don't have all that time in their lives. So they can get into some really unhealthy food practices that might come from food manufacturing and raising practices that would just, make you irate if you knew what it was. So as a lot of investors I know say, we like the sausage, we just never want to see how it's made.